Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Doing my update a little bit earlier today than I normally do. Normally come on around between 6:30 and 7:30 in the evening, but on this afternoon, just after 4:30 on a bright afternoon, a seasonably cool afternoon with temperatures in the lower 50s. On a little early today. My son has his senior night. Hard to believe. Son number two, a senior in high school. Senior night for the cross country team this evening. So my wife and I will be heading up to his school for that. Looking forward to that. So that's why we're on a little bit early. Hey, Kathy and Rich, good afternoon to both of you. Again, bright out there today, a little breezy, a little chilly for this time of the year. Normal high is right around 60, so coming up shy of that again today. And I was looking at some of the numbers. 4 out of the last 5 days in the Providence area have been around 50 degrees for high temperatures, which is definitely cool. So on the cool side, again, cold overnight tonight, really, as temperatures fall to near freezing in many places, below freezing in some spots inland where that wind completely dies down. So just brace yourself for another chilly night, another night where the heat is definitely going to be clicking on if it's not on right now. Joe, I'm doing well. Good to see you on the live broadcast, hanging out here this afternoon. Let's talk a little bit about the weather that's coming our way. Again, fairly quiet for us through tonight and tomorrow as well. Tomorrow's not as windy as today was. There'll be sun followed by clouds. Temperature-wise, about the same story, probably up into the low 50s for highs tomorrow. Tomorrow night into Saturday, as we've been telling you for a while, storm system on the way. It looks like it's on schedule. It looks like the worst weather is going to be Saturday morning. The rain will likely develop before dawn throughout Connecticut, right around dawn in Rhode Island and in eastern Massachusetts. Heavy downpours on Saturday morning, and in the afternoon, the rain should get a little bit lighter. The wind will be strong morning into the early afternoon, and that wind will gradually die down some late in the day and overnight. So, Robin, enjoying a nice day in Danbury. Yeah, it is beautiful out there. Real pretty looking day. Get a good look at that foliage. Some of those trees are going to be losing their leaves, unfortunately, as this storm system hits with the heavy rain and the strong winds coming our way over part of the weekend. But the entire weekend's not terrible. We'll talk about that coming up. First, though, I want to show you this. It looks like we have some. Well, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, this is not displaying the way I want it to. Good enough. So some heavy downpours coming our way on Saturday morning. This is a simulated radar, what the radar may look like. So we've all seen the radar. We all know that green means rain, yellow means heavy rain, and orange, and some pretty good downpours coming through on Saturday morning. This is a 10 o'clock projection right here. So it looks like it'll be pouring in a good chunk of southern New England at that point. In case you're wondering about ice or snow, you see a little bit of it up here in the southern Vermont area, and then some snow up in the mountains of far northern New England. So it's rain, though, for Connecticut, for Rhode Island, and for eastern Massachusetts with this one. Sally and Susan and Patricia, hello, good afternoon to all of you. We are looking at, again, the potential for basically 30 to 50 mile per hour gusts with this storm. I think the potential for the 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts comes along the coastline of both Connecticut and Rhode Island, and especially southeastern Massachusetts. Cape Cod and the islands, I think we might see some gusts over 50 miles per hour. Once you get inland, though, the gusts should not be as strong, generally in that 30 to 40 mile per hour range. Might even be 25 to 35 miles per hour up into Hartford County. So not as strong, but strong enough to take down some leaves. So leaf-clogged storm drains are a possibility with the heavy rain combined with the gusty winds. Some slippery conditions on some side roads if you get some leaves that are wet. So just be careful if you are traveling Saturday morning, afternoon, or evening. There might be a little bit of street flooding by midday on Saturday. We haven't had a ton of rain lately, but we are looking at, again, some heavy rain coming through on Saturday. And again, particularly Saturday morning, 1 to 2 inches of rain expected. I think that Connecticut, you're looking at about an inch to an inch and a half in most spots. Could be a little bit less in far northern Hartford and Talon counties. about 1 to 1.5 throughout most of Rhode Island, and 1.5 to about 2 inches of rain in eastern Massachusetts. So eastern Massachusetts is probably going to get the worst overall of this storm system as it comes through. So that's the deal. Again, heaviest rain I think ends for us midday, early afternoon on Saturday. Still somewhat showery Saturday afternoon. The wind stays strong early in the afternoon, and then it should die down some by late in the day. So if you are traveling, doing something Saturday evening, it's not going to be as bad. I still think it'll be pretty damp out there. Temperatures will be in the 40s early in the day on Saturday. May rise up into the low 50s in Connecticut. A good chance that it makes it up into the lower 50s in Rhode Island and in eastern Massachusetts. And then by Sunday, and we'll talk about that, the weather dries out for us some. So again, just to reiterate, here's what we're looking at. Dry weather through Friday evening. So if you have plans Friday evening, no concerns. But around midnight or shortly thereafter, might see that rain arriving in southwestern Connecticut and then slowly working its way off to the northeast. It'll be chilly tonight, definitely. Lows not far at all from freezing. The worst weekend weather, again, is likely on Saturday morning, with the combination of the wind and the rain, and it won't be as wet or windy by late in the day on Saturday and Saturday night. Sunday, we'll call it okay. Might break into some sunshine for a few hours on Sunday. The temperature getting up in Rhode Island and eastern Massachusetts, 50s to around 60 degrees possible if we can break into some sunshine. It'll be a breezy day on Sunday, 15 to 25 mile per hour wind coming in out of the west-southwest. And it's uncertain as to whether you'll get into that milder air in Connecticut. Best chance of getting into some of it would be in the southeastern part of the state, so 40s to low 50s throughout Connecticut on Sunday. If the storm track shifts just a little bit, that could have an impact on the temperature forecast for Sunday. But I think we're in pretty decent shape for a mainly or all dry day on Sunday. Let's see. Kimberly, good afternoon to you. Mike Thomas saying, was there a question about another wave trying to develop along the trough for the beginning of next week? Yeah, so that's a pretty technical type of question there. So anyone who doesn't quite understand what Michael is Thomas is asking there, is there could be a second storm that follows this one early next week, and it looks like there will be something. Again, it's probably going to be mild enough for rain. It doesn't look like it's going to develop just right for a real wallop for us early next week, so more along the lines of showery to start the week. But yeah, so nothing to be too concerned about. Talking about Halloween, it was interesting yesterday when we spoke. I said it looked pretty chilly for Halloween for trick-or-treating. And I said if the pattern speeds up a little bit and everything moves a little more quickly, then we might get onto the mild side of the nice weather that's coming our way in the middle of next week in time for trick-or-treating. And that's sort of the way it's looking right now as I look at the latest information. So I'm cautiously optimistic for some decent trick-or-treating weather on Wednesday. Looking at it here, estimating temperatures probably around 50 degrees at the time of trick-or-treating, which wouldn't be bad at all. We live in southern New England, so we can't expect too much. It is late October. I think 50 is doable. We don't want 30. We don't want rain and wind, and it looks like it's going to be dry for us. Looking way down the road, another storm system's possible late next week and heading into next weekend. So keep that in the back of your mind if you have plans late next week. It'll eventually get milder next week after a cool start to the work week, particularly on Tuesday and Wednesday's mid-50s, and we might have a couple of days in the 60s to end the work week next week. All right, so that is it's about it. Not too much else to say. So Barb and Susan, a little bit better for us on Sunday. And hey, Ginger and Tara. Tara likes the format. That's good. Glad you're getting the information that you need about that weekend forecast. So that's it. If you can schedule your stuff that you need to do on Saturday, your errands for later in the day, you'd be better off, or put them off to Sunday if you can. Saturday morning looks pretty nasty overall with the combination of rain and wind coming through. Probably just a good morning to hang inside, maybe throw something in the crock pot for Saturday evening if you're not going out, have a little apple cider or something along those lines, maybe do some pick up a pumpkin tomorrow, maybe do a little bit of pumpkin carving during the day on Saturday. David wants to know about up in Vermont on Sunday. Hang on one second. I'll let you know what it looks like. So this system, as it moves to our north, still having somewhat of an impact on Sunday, way up in northern Vermont with some rain showers around. But for the most part, David, it looks like dry weather in Vermont too, especially if you're in the southern half of the state on Sunday. So, yeah. All right. Well, that's about it. Again, I'll have another update for you tomorrow. Update on rightweather.com as well coming your way on this storm system. We've been talking about this one, the potential for a storm coming our way late in October for a while. So if you like and follow my Facebook page and put those notifications on, you'll get notified every time I go live and hopefully get some useful weather information. Whether you live in Connecticut or Rhode Island or Eastern Massachusetts, covering all those areas. Diane saying, my dog doesn't like to get his paws wet. Can you stop the rain between 7 and 7:30 in the morning on Saturday? Okay, I'll do what I can, Diane, but highly, highly unlikely. It looks like that's when the rain will be coming down for us. So very soggy Saturday morning. Might not be a bad idea to get that patio furniture inside as well. It's getting out of that point in the season. I brought mine in last week, and probably good to batten down the hatches a little bit, particularly if you live along the shoreline. That's where the coastline of either Connecticut shoreline or the Rhode Island coast or Buzzards Bay area. And if you happen to live or know anybody Cape Cod and the islands, that's where the weather is going to be the worst. So have a good rest of your Thursday week, rolling right along. Get to go to bed early tonight too, a night off from the World Series. That's good. So get back after it again tomorrow night. Have a great night. See ya.